Salve, anyways, this is Games Workshop Curio Blood Bowl, 2nd edition Blood Bowl, and this is a metal. It could be lead, it could be pewter miniature. It's probably got lead in it. So this isn't intended for any minors or children, because this thing could be dangerous. You know, now they have it with plastic and resin, and at some point they went from like lead to like pewter. So I think all these guys are going to be blitzers. I'm going to show off my ogres from Blood Bowl. Some of them are from teams and stuff. I was pretty good at Blood Bowl. I talk about that in my Chainsaw Looney videos. But this guy is one of my number 10 ogres, and since it has a red base, I guess I used him as a blitzer. So this guy's actually pretty cool, and you can see he's got a lot of red on him. You know, you can see he's got a lot of red. And then he's got like the spike, and there he's got like number 10. I don't know how well you can see it, but this guy falls off his base a lot. So, but yeah, this guy was pretty cool. And yeah, I wasn't the best painter. I only had like a certain amount of paints, but I don't know how well this shows up on camera, but it looks pretty cool in person. So yeah, this is one of the ogres. I have 4 of them. So this is my first number 10, and I think he's a blitzer because I have the colors. I have them all painted as blitzers. Some of them could actually be a blocker, but I usually, you know, and he's got a black base, so I don't know if that means anything. I got to figure out who's on what team, because I think I might redo some of my teams. So this is the first number 10 ogre I have. And then this is another number 10 ogre that I have. And you can see he's got like a little bit of a different design. And for some reason I gave him a silver base with the red. So yeah, he's number 10 and this guy's number 10. So I would split them and use them on sometimes like multiple teams, especially the big uns, because they're pretty expensive and they're a little harder to get. And you can see he's got a big mohawk. I didn't really show you the top of the other guy's head because, you know, he kind of falls and stuff. But you can see I did a lot of blood. So I think the ogres, if I remember, they could throw teammates. So I think they could throw, like if it was a snotling, they could throw a snotling, and they could also throw like a, maybe a goblin. Maybe a goblin was like, but it, you know, they couldn't throw a goblin as far, and you know, it's been a while. I'm going to have to like look up the rules because I might play again. Maybe I'll do some teams, but you can see this is another one of the ogres, and I painted this guy pretty decent. The ogres, the big uns, were harder to get, and then they would be like, they counted as 2 players for 1, so you couldn't have as many as them on the pitch. So that was like really what the big drawback was about them. So here's like another one that I'm going to show you, and I have the same thing with the silver and the red thing, so I don't know if that means they were on the same team. So this is one of my number 10s, and now this is my number 11. So that's my number 11. You can see he's a number 11 ogre. That's just like the number I have on them, like the numbers. So I'm not really sure. I think these guys might have been on the same team, just from the coloration of them. You can see I have like the sticker on them still. I mean, this is from when I'm like 13 years old, this paint job, so you know, I only had a few paints, so what little paints I had, I did the best I could. And you can see some of the paint's chipped off. Some of the paint's actually chipped off his glove because it's so old. You can see, but I don't think that looks that bad actually, but yeah, I think he's a blitzer because like I said, I have the base is red, and so he was probably a blitzer. And I have one more ogre that I'm going to show you, and this one is my ogre that is number 12, and I'm not sure why I did him like this. I don't know if I have him on the Drow team, but his base has a black base with the red around it. So maybe that means he's on that team with that other one that I just showed you. But this guy's actually kind of cool. It almost looks like a reverse ogre, or like a black ogre or something. Now, I don't know, it's possible that I put him on one of my Dark Elf teams, because I could have swapped him in, and I could have just swapped out one of the linemen basically, well really 2 of the linemen, for this guy. And that would give the Drow Elf team just a little bit more. He's got number 12 on him. So I don't know. But yeah, I did him black. And I gave him like the white hair. I guess if you like Naruto or something like that, you kind of like that look. And you see I have like the bloody fist. So yeah, I think I used the Ogres because the Ogres could throw people. The Minotaurs, I have Minotaurs too. I'll show that. I'll probably do that next. Because I only have 3 Minotaurs, but I'm a big fan of Minotaurs. But the Minotaurs, I think if they, and the Trolls, because I don't think I have any Trolls, I think if they went for the Snotling or the Goblin, there was a chance they would eat them. And also there was a thing like when they would kill somebody, they go into like a blood rage or something. This might be one of my favorite Ogres because it's just straight black. I even have a t-shirt I used in one of my videos. It's like an Ogre skull thing. But like I said, this is like more for adults. This isn't really for like minors or kids because this is probably lead. It's a metal. It could be pewter, but it probably has lead in it. So you can't really be screwing around with this. Like I said, this is from when I'm 13 years old. I did this paint job, and you can see it held up pretty well. I only had a few bits of paint, and even if some of it chipped off, it's not that big a deal. But I think this is kind of cool. I did him with like the white hair and everything, so maybe I used him on the Drow team or whatever, but it seems like he's teammate of one of the other Ogres that I showed, because it has the black base on the top and the red around it. So I don't know if that's just a coincidence or not, but yeah. Anyways, if you watched this much, thanks. I appreciate it. And like I said, I think this is Blood Bowl 2nd edition Games Workshop. I don't think it's a 1st edition figure, and I don't know if I think there were 4 Ogres they made. I don't know if I had all 4 different Ogres. Maybe I did. No, I think I have 2 of the same. No, I do. I must have, yeah, I do have all 4 different Ogres. So, because one has chainmail on the arm, and the other doesn't have the chainmail on the arm. So yeah, supposedly I have all 4 Ogre sculpts, it looks like, so that's pretty cool. Thanks, and take